आचार्यं मां विजानीयान् नावमन्येत कर्हिचित् नमर्त्य बुद्ध्या सूयेत सर्वदेव मयो गुरुः। हे परम प्रियतम पूर्णतम पुरुषोत्तम श्री कृष्ण, तुमसे विमुख होने के कारण अनादिकाल से हमने अनंत दुख पाए एवं पा रहे हैं। पाप करते करते अंतःकरण इतना मलिन हो चुका है कि रसिकों द्वारा यह जानने पर भी कि तुम अपनी भुजाओं को पसारे अपनी वात्सल्यमयी दृष्टि से हमारी प्रतीक्षा कर रहे हो, तुम्हारी शरण में नहीं आ पाता। हे अशरण शरण, तुम्हारी कृपा के बिना तुम्हें कोई जान भी तो नहीं सकता। ऐसी स्थिति में हे अकारण करुण पतित पावन श्री कृष्ण, तुम अपनी अहेतुकी कृपा से ही हमको अपना लो। हे करुणा सागर, हम भुक्ति मुक्ति आदि कुछ नहीं मांगते, हमें तो केवल तुम्हारे निष्काम प्रेम की ही एकमात्र चाह है। हे नाथ, अपने विरध की ओर देखकर इस अधम को निराश ना करो। हे जीवन धन, अब बहुत हो चुका, अब तो तुम्हारे प्रेम के बिना यह जीवन मृत्यु से भी अधिक भयानक है। अतएव प्रेम भिक्षाम देहि, प्रेम भिक्षाम देहि, प्रेम भिक्षाम देहि।
साकेत बिहारी श्री राघवेंद्र सरकार की
जय।
वृंदावन बिहारी श्री यादवेंद्र सरकार की
जय।
श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की
जय।
जय जय
श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे।
राधे राधे। राधे राधे। Radhe Radhe. We will continue with our Kirtan. First Kirtan is in Sankirtan Sudha, page number 105. Sankirtan Sudha, page number 105. I'm going to read translation of this Kirtan. O Nanda Kumar, Shri Krishna, You are the protector of the destitute, and I am the foremost among the destitute. Then why are you delaying? Please listen to my humble cry. You love the fallen souls, and I am the worst of the fallen. Then why did you forget me? O Nanda Kumar, please listen to my humble cry. O Nanda Kumar, the Vedas declare that you are my eternal father. This child of yours is drowning in this vast ocean of Maya. Please save your child. O Lord, please listen to my humble cry. You are beyond Maya, and your divine pastimes are beyond the reach of material intellects. O son of Nanda, I am your newborn child, helpless and ignorant. So please listen to my cry. O Lord, it is when you bestow your grace that one comes to know you. And it is by knowing you that one develops faith in you, which then leads to love for you. So kindly hear my cry and bestow your grace. Your Maya is very powerful. It is impossible to overcome its influence. It has ruined everything for me and has made me forget you. The Vedas repeatedly declare only Nanda Kumar is yours, but my stubborn mind doesn't accept the truth. Says Shri Kripalu, O merciful Lord, now please listen to my humble cry. Sankirtan Sudha, page number 105.
तुम दीनन को रखवार, हम दीनन को सरदार, पुनि काहे करत अभार। सुन लो मम नंद कुमार। दीनन को रखवार, तुम दीनन को सरदार, पुनि काहे करत अभार। सुन लो मम नंद कुमार। पति तन सो कर प्यार, हो पति तन को सरदार। पति तन सो कर प्यार, हो पति तन को सरदार। तुम पति तन सो कर प्यार, हो पति तन को सरदार। पुनि काहे मोहि विसार सुन लो मम नंद कुमार पुनि काहे मोहि विसार सुन लो मम नंद कुमार तुम दीनन को रखवार हम दीनन को सरदार पुनि काहे करत अबार सुन लो मम नंद कुमार सुत को बचाओ सरकार सुन लो मम नंद कुमार सुत को बचाओ सरकार सुन लो मम नंद कुमार माया गुण गोपाल लीला तव अपरंपार तुम माया गुण गोपाल लीला तव अपरंपार हम शिशु नवजात तिहार सुन लो मम नंद कुमार शिशु नवजात तिहार सुन लो मम नंद कुमार हम शिशु नवजात तिहार सुन लो मम नंद कुमार सुन लो मम नंद कुमार सुन लो मम नंद कुमार सुन लो सुन लो मम नंद कुमार, सुन लो मम नंद कुमार। जब कृपा करहु सरकार, तब को तो ही जान निहार।
कृपा करहु सरकार, तब को तो ही जान निहार।
जब कृपा करहु सरकार, तब को तो ही जान निहार। राधे तब माने तब हो प्यार, सुन लो मम नंद कुमार।
माया शक्ति अपार, वाणी पिया बंटाधार।
तब माया शक्ति अपार, वाने किया बंटाधार।
माया शक्ति अपार, वाणी पिया बंटाधार।
तब माया शक्ति अपार, वाने किया बंटाधार।
याते हो तो ही बिसार, याते हो तो ही बिसार। सुन लो मम नंद कुमार।
याते हो तो ही बिसार, सुन लो मम नंद कुमार।
श्रुति बारंबार पुकार, तेरो एक 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 नंद कुमार।
मानत नहीं मन हठधार, मानत नहीं मन हठधार। सुन लो कृपालु सरकार।
मानत नहीं मन हठधार, सुन लो कृपालु सरकार।
मानत नहीं मन हठधार, सुन लो कृपालु सरकार।
मानत नहीं मन हठधार, सुन लो कृपालु सरकार।
सुन लो मम नंद कुमार, सुन लो मम नंद कुमार। राधे गोविंद गोविंद बोल, 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 राधे 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 बोल। तुम दीनन को रखवार, हम दीनन को सरदार, पुनि काहे करत भार, सुन लो मम नंद कुमार, तुम दीनन को रखवार, हम दीनन को सरदार, पुनि काहे करत अभार, सुन लो मम नंद कुमार। सद्गुरु सरकार की जय।
Radhe Radhe everyone. Welcome to the Radha Krishna Temple Sunday Satsang, and so delighted to be celebrating Father's Day today with Lord Krishna, Maharaj Ji and Swami Ji. So I'm going to request Swami Ji to offer garland to Shri Maharaj Ji.
नमो गुरुभ्यो नमः परिपर्यभ्य पादुकाभ्यो नमः सदा सद्गुरु पादुकाभ्याः।
श्रीमान सदगुरु सरकार की प्यारे प्यारे महाराज की सद्गुरुदेव भगवान की जय।
So today we are honored to have the Supreme Court Judge of India, Arvind Kumarji, with us. I'm going to request him to come forward and offer garland to Swamiji. Would like to take a moment to thank our sponsors for Father's Day celebration. Grand sponsor is Vrinda Das. Would like to request Kaustuv and Manjari Varti to come, and they are Mukhya Yajman for today to offer garland to Swamiji.
बोलिए सदगुरु महाराज की
Would like to thank our Yajman, Minu Kapoor, Pooja Parikh, Lata Srivastanji, and Smita Mehta. Please, Smita ji, come forward and offer garland to Swamiji.
बोलिए गुरु महाराज की जय।
With that, I'm going to request Swamiji to begin divine discourse and satsang.
Radhe Radhe. We'd like to wish everyone here a happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Before we get into the discourse, let's do some chanting. Sankirtan Madhuri, page number 134. तू ही तो है मेरा नंद नंदन, मैं भी तो हूँ तेरा नंद नंदन।
तू ही तो है मेरा नंद नंदन, मैं भी तो हूँ तेरा नंद नंदन।
तू ही तो है मेरा नंद नंदन, मैं भी तो हूँ तेरा नंद नंदन।
तू ही तो है मेरा नंद नंदन, मैं भी तो हूँ तेरा नंद नंदन।
तू ही मेरा स्वामी नंद नंदन।
तू ही मेरा स्वामी नंद नंदन।
तू ही सुत नंद नंदन
तू ही मेरा सुत नंद नंदन
तू ही मेरा पिय 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 नंद नंदन
तू ही तो है मेरा नंद नंदन मैं भी तो हूँ तेरा नंद नंदन
तू ही तो है मेरा नंद नंदन मैं भी तो हूँ तेरा नंद नंदन
तू ही तो है मेरा नंद नंदन मैं भी तो हूँ तेरा नंद नंदन
तू ही तो है मेरा नंद नंदन मैं भी तो हूँ तेरा नंद नंदन
मेरा सब कुछ ही है तेरा नंद नंदन
मेरा सब कुछ ही है तेरा नंद नंदन
तेरा सब कुछ भी है मेरा 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 नंद नंदन
माना मैं हूँ अति पतित नंद नंदन
माना मैं हूँ अति पतित नंद नंदन
तू भी तो पतित पावन 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 नंद नंदन
तू ही तो है मेरा नंद नंदन मैं भी तो हूँ तेरा नंद नंदन
तू ही तो है मेरा नंद नंदन मैं भी तो हूँ तेरा नंद नंदन
तू ही तो है मेरा नंद नंदन मैं भी तो हूँ तेरा नंद नंदन
तू ही तो है मेरा नंद नंदन मैं भी तो हूँ तेरा नंद नंदन
माना मैं हूँ अति दीनहीन 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 नंद नंदन
तू भी तो है दीनानाथ मम 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 नंद नंदन
माना मैंने तुझको भुलाया नंद नंदन।
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 या मैं तो है दोषी तेरी माया नंद नंदन।
या मैं तो है दोषी तेरी माया नंद नंदन।
या मैं तो है दोषी तेरी माया नंद नंदन।
या मैं तो है दोषी तेरी माया नंद नंदन।
तू ही तो है मेरा नंद नंदन। मैं भी तो तेरा नंद नंदन।
तू ही तो है मेरा नंद नंदन। मैं भी तो हूँ तेरा नंद नंदन।
माना मैंने जाना नहीं तो ही 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 नंद नंदन।
तेरी कृपा बिनु जाना कौन 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 नंद नंदन।
माना मैंने किया सदा पाप 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 नंद नंदन।
मेरे पाछे माया क्यों लगाया 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 नंद नंदन।
तू ही तो है मेरा नंद नंदन। मैं भी तो तेरा नंद नंदन।
तू ही तो है मेरा नंद नंदन। मैं भी तो हूँ तेरा नंद नंदन।
माना मानते हूँ मैं तो हारा नंद नंदन।
माना मानते हूँ मैं तो आया नंद नंदन।
माना मानते हूँ मैं तो हारा नंद नंदन।
माना मानते हूँ मैं तुम्हारा नंद नंदन।
तू है कैसा मन मोहन 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 नंद नंदन।
माना मैं हूँ सब विधि दोषी नंद नंदन।
माना मैं हूँ सब विधि दोषी नंद नंदन।
माना मैं हूँ सब विधि दोषी नंद नंदन।
माना मैं
तू तो है कृपालु कृपा करू नंदनंदन
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 तू ही तो है मेरा नंदनंदन मैं भी तो तेरा नंदनंदन
तू ही तो है मेरा नंदनंदन मैं भी तो हूँ तेरा नंदनंदन
तू ही तो है मेरा नंदनंदन मैं भी तो तेरा नंदनंदन
तू ही तो है मेरा नंदनंदन मैं भी तो हूँ तेरा नंदनंदन
हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम
जय हो
हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम राम हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम
हरि बोल।
राम हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम राम हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम
हरि बोल।
राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
तू ही तो है मेरा नंदनंदन मैं भी तो तेरा नंदनंदन
तू ही तो है मेरा नंदनंदन मैं भी तो हूँ तेरा नंदनंदन
नंदनंदन श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की Father's Day is celebrated to recognize, remember, and recollect the love of fathers. Father's love is infamous in this world as tough love, The mother's love wins all the accolades and is recognized far more, while a father has a very difficult place. A father is traditionally the wage winner for the family, and he must be at the job and yet available. He should be aloof and yet intimate. He should be the disciplinarian and yet kind and compassionate. Despite all of this, the children's first hero is the father. Like I always say, there are 3 stages in life. The first is, my dad can beat your dad. This is the childhood stage. And then is the adolescent stage. Many of you, your children are in this stage. Oh, dad, you don't know anything. That is the adolescence. And then when wisdom dawns, it's the third stage, my father used to say. So, on this day of Father's Day, we celebrate and recognize and appreciate the love of all the fathers of the world. At the same time, there is a spiritual father as well, and that is the Guru. Just as the father raises children, when a daughter is born, the father takes care of the daughter along with the mother, ensures that she develops all the skills, all the qualities, learns to sing and dance, etc. And then when she comes of age, one gentleman comes along. They have 7 circles around the fire, and she is gone. So this gentleman who came along, he did not put in the hard work of raising the child. That was done by the mother along with the father. Likewise is the Guru's work, who strives with the soul, gives knowledge to the soul, helps the soul practice the sadhana, teaches us how to surrender and purify our hearts, and when we are ready, then God comes along. Is this soul prepared? Yes, Sri Krishna, the soul is ready. Sri Krishna says, all right, thank you very much, now I arrive. Before that, all the hard work was done by the Guru. And that is why the Guru's position is always very special. Guru Gobind do khade kaake lagu paaye, balihari Guru apne Gobind diyo milay. So, from the spiritual perspective, the Guru is also like our father. And then there is the Supreme Father of the universe. He is the Guru of all Gurus. Maharshi Patanjali has in his Yoga Sutra said, Purvesham api Guruhu kalena navachhedat. There is Bhagavan, who is the eternal Guru of all Gurus because he is beyond time. He is our spiritual father who has created us. And on this day, we express our appreciation to our worldly father, our spiritual father, our Guru, in this case, Jagat Guru Sri Kripaluji Maharaj, and our eternal Father, Sri Krishna, who is beyond time and who has taken care of us even when we did not know him, Even when we were going around saying, I'm a Marxist, I don't believe in God, I'm a fascist, I'm a Leninist, and so on. There was once a traveler who arrived at a village beyond midnight. He inquired from someone if I can get some food to eat. They told him there's a very charitable person in our village. Nobody goes disappointed from his house. You go to him, he will definitely feed you. The traveler reached this charitable person's house and knocked at the door. Now it was beyond midnight. The husband and wife were asleep when the door started banging. They opened their eyes and all groggy-eyed, they arrived at the door. The husband opened and the traveler said, Sir, I have come from very far. Can you please give me something to eat? This man looked at his wife. His wife, before sleeping, had cleaned up all the kitchen. You know, the Gujaratis, their kitchen looks like their drawing room. At night, they will make it all spick and span, turn the vessels around. So she had cleaned up before sleeping, and now he wants food. So this charitable person said, please sit down, sir, we'll see what we can arrange. Together they prepared a meal, and with great respect, Atithi Devo Bhava, this guest is like my God. They went to serve him. He said, Sir, by the grace of God, this has become available. Please partake of it and give thanks to the Almighty. The traveler was an atheist and did not believe in the existence of God. He said, why did you bring God into the picture? You've spoiled the entire kheer by throwing this fly in it. The charitable person was shocked. He said, you don't believe in God? No, God is a figment of our imagination. Man created God in the image of man and said that God created man in the image of God. So this person got annoyed. He said, you are insulting God. All right then, he pulled the plate back and said, I'll see how you're going to eat. He pushed him out of the house. I went off to sleep. At night, Sri Krishna came in his dream. So he saw such a vivid dream. He said, oh my God, this is, Bhagavan is right there. He fell at the feet of Sri Krishna in his dream. And Sri Krishna said, you threw that man out. Are Maharaj, he was insulting you. How could I tolerate it? Sri Krishna said, how old did he look? I would guess he was about 55. Sri Krishna said, you know what? Since the last 40 years he's been insulting me. And still I arrange for his food 3 times a day. You were not able to tolerate it even once. And this charitable person, he started crying, my Lord, who knows your mercy? Even those who are insulting, even those who are declaring, I don't have any spiritual father, for them also you are making all these arrangements. The food we eat, the water we drink, the sunlight we receive, the earth we walk upon. But nevertheless, this question pinches us sometimes. That do we have any such eternal father? Because modern science is of the view that creation happened by itself. There was just a big bang and everything came into existence. But this idea that a big bang created the world is not commonsensical. Because a bang leads to chaos. Supposing I tell you that there was a bang in a typewriter shop. And the keys started getting hit by chance, the right ones. And by chance the proper words started forming and the pages started coming out of the printer. And in the morning when the owner opened the shop, he found that the complete plays of William Shakespeare were there. You would say, impossible. How can the plays of William Shakespeare be created by a bang? Likewise, this world is so complex. From the tiniest atoms to the biggest galaxies, to say it got created by a bang is an astonishing idea. It's like one geography teacher taught the class, the world got created by the bang, Big Bang theory of science, and then gave them a homework, prepare a map of the world and bring it tomorrow. So one student used to come to the Radha Krishna temple for Satsang. He was a part of the JKYog youth club. He got an idea, he took a paper and he drew some lines, threw some colors, made a big mess and brought it. When the students were submitting their assignments, he also slipped it in. When the teacher came, he saw all the homeworks and started evaluating them. 6 on 10, 9 on 10, 4 on 10, until he came to that scrap. And it irritated him. He said, "Who made this?" The whole class was silent. He said, "Tell me you made it." Nobody was responding. He said, "Tell me or I'll get all of you to stand up on your chairs." Now this boy put his hand up. He said, "Sir, in my opinion, nobody made it." What do you mean? I mean, there was a bang outside in the garden and the paper flew here. And then by chance the pencils flew and some lines got scratched. And by chance some colors came splashing and they filled up out here. The teacher said, "What nonsense are you speaking? This got created by a bang. Somebody has definitely made it, and in my opinion, you are the person who's made it." So the student said, "Sir, you are not willing to believe that a little scrappy map of the world could be made by itself. And you taught us yesterday that the world got made by itself with all its innumerable laws." So, there is a father which stands to reason. Now that we have a father, the next question comes, who's our mother? So our father said, "Look, I'll create for you a foster mother. Adhatta viryam sasuta mahattattvam hiranmayam daivat kshubhitagabhinyam swasam yonau parah puman." The Bhagavatam says that Bhagavan, he embedded the jivas into the womb of material nature. And life started progressing. So material nature is lifeless, insentient. He embedded the souls in material nature in appropriate life forms, and they started progressing. But the soul said, "No, we want a spiritual mother, we don't want a foster mother." So Bhagavan says, "Okay, in that case, dear souls, I'll expand myself into two. So I am Krishna, now I'll become Krishna and Radha. Anadirayam purusham ekamevasti tadeva rupam dvidha vidhaya. Samaradhana tatparo bhut tasmat tam radham rasikanandam veda vido vadanti. So he is taken on the two forms since eternity. of Shiv and Parvati, Ram and Sita, Narayan and Lakshmi, Krishna and Radha. And now we get the father's love and also the mother's love. And we go on eulogizing the mother because the mother's love is more affectionate, she is more merciful. So we say that Radharani's position is higher than Sri Krishna. Sunu barsane vari gulam tero banwari. O Radha ji, Sri Krishna is also your servant. That's all very well, but ultimately Radha has come from Krishna itself. From that perspective, Krishna remains the supreme. So he is our eternal Father, and he is an ocean of compassion. We celebrate his love for us today, on Father's Day. And here again, our material intellect raises questions. What kind of love does he have for us? We are suffering here in this world. He is sitting in his golok enjoying divine bliss. He doesn't know how difficult it is. Sometimes hurricanes, sometimes cyclones, sometimes pandemics. We are getting beaten by the waves of Maya, and he is just looking at us. God says, I am noting your karmas. Are Bhagavan, don't just note the karmas, do something about it. You have the capacity to simply glance mercifully on us and Maya will run away. We'll get liberated. So why have you not done that? What kind of a father are you? One soul says, Sri Krishna, should I reveal my mind to you today? Sri Krishna says, go ahead. You will not like it. Sri Krishna says, never mind, I am habituated. He's sitting in our hearts, and from time to time we even think against God. Why did God do this? And he knows. So Sri Krishna says, what do you want to say? Go ahead. The soul now places the case. Apigarta mukhe gata shishuhu pathikena api nivaryate javat janakena patana bhavarnavena nivaryo bhavata katham vibho. O Lord, in the world, if a little infant is fallen into a ditch and is wailing, any passerby will melt and will go to rescue the little one, try and find out the child's parents. If they are not traceable, they will deposit the child into an orphanage or the police station, announce it. On TV, nowadays it comes flashing in the mobiles, one child is lost. But nobody will be so hard-hearted as to throw the child back. Go, die, I don't care for you. Sri Krishna, even we humans have got that much of quality of compassion and pity. Sri Krishna says, yes, human beings do have that compassion. Otherwise they'll be Rakshasas. But what is it you wish to say? This big background you've created, O soul. The soul now comes to the point and says, Maharaj, like that infant, we are your little children. And we are fallen in the ditch of Maya. We are in ignorance. We are getting thrashed around, beaten by Maya, suffering the threefold miseries, Adi Atmik, Adi Daivik, Adi Bhautik. You are seeing it all. Why are you not gracing us? Your Vedas declare Amritasya vai putra We are all children of that eternal God. What is the problem, Maharaj? And you have got big titles. Patit Pavan, Deen Bandhu, Adham Udharanhar, Binu Hetu Sanehi, Akaran Karuna Varunalay, the ocean of causeless grace and mercy. So why are we bereft of that mercy? And don't tell me, Maharaj, that you come to my door, I'll grace you. I don't know the way to your door. I admit I'm in ignorance. But you are Sarvagya, all-knowing. So what is your excuse? The soul leveled this Mukaddama case in the court of God. Now God responded. He said, "O soul, you have said something very big today. I am supposed to be extremely soft-hearted, and you have insinuated that I am so harsh and cruel. But I ask you only one counter question. You have claimed grace on this basis that you are the child of God. My question is, do you actually believe that I am your father? Think about it. Do any of us truly believe with all our heart that Sri Krishna is our father? Now, since you come to the temple, you do believe, but to a certain extent. Sri Krishna, you are my father, but 20%. 80% my father is in the world. I have a share in his property, I will get it. And you, I have never seen you. Where do you go when I am in distress? So Sri Krishna says, I am eager to bless you, O soul. But at least you accept that I am your father. You come into the temple and say, Tvameva Mata cha Pita Tvameva, Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva. You are using the word Eva. What is Eva? Alone. You alone, Sri Krishna, are my mother. You alone are my father. And your intellect is differently decided. God says, look, you wish to receive grace. Do you know on what basis will I grace you? You need to do something from your side. In America, they say, there are no free lunches. Now, if I grace you, I'll give you divine love, divine bliss, divine knowledge. And what will you need to do? Are you aware? No, Maharaj, I don't know. Okay, then first of all, clarify this bit of knowledge. What is it that I give and what is it that I take? So the soul said, all right, Maharaj, go ahead, speak. I'll hear you out today. Now Bhagavan said in his Vedas, Todasyev Sharana Amahasya Rigved. O soul, you surrender to me and you will receive the grace you want. Te tva mada indramadayam tu shushminam tu viradasam jaritre eko devatradayase. If you surrender to me, immediately all your problems will be solved. God says, look, you have come into my world. You need to follow my laws. We have Justice Arvind Kumar here from the Supreme Court of India. He dispenses justice on behalf of the Constitution of India for cases that come. But does that jurisdiction extend to the United States? Of course not. If somebody comes from India to the US and says, I live by the laws of India, or goes from the US and to India and says, I live by the laws of the United States, people will say, impossible, follow the laws of the land. Likewise, God says, this is my world. You need to follow the laws of this world. Why is this rebellion taking place? Again, he says in the Kathopanishad, etadalambanam shreshtham etadalambanam param. Bhagavan says in the scriptures, I am telling you again and again and again, why don't you listen to me? Sometimes when people read the Vedas, they say these Vedas have got punarukti dosh, the flaw of repetition. The same thing is coming again and again. Did God have a weak memory? He said something and then forgot? No, it's not that God has a weak memory. God says, I repeat it because the souls have a weak memory. They hear something and they forget. So I keep on repeating it to ensure that the main principles get embedded in their consciousness. That is why these scriptures are so elaborate. Otherwise, the knowledge of 18 Puranas, 400,000 verses, could have been encapsulated in 400 verses. Like you have heard of the Ek Shloki Ramayana? Ek Shloki Ramayana. Adau Rama Tapo Vanadi Gamanam Hatva Mrigam Kanchanam Vaidehi Haranam Jatayu Maranam Sugriva Sambhashanam Bali Nigrahanam Samudra Taranam Lanka Puri Dahanam Paschad Ravana Kumbhakarna Hananam Chaita Dhiramayanam. Ramayana is complete. One villager from UP said, Ek tha Ram, एक रावन्ना, उन्होंने उनकी नार हरन्ना, उन्होंने उनको मारन्ना, इतनी बात की बातन्ना, तुलसी रच गए पोथन्ना. So the scriptures repeat the essential principles to drive them into our head. And here they say, look souls, you need to surrender. So what is this surrender that we are talking about that will attract the grace of God? Is it not possible that we can receive grace without surrender? What does that mean? That means that laws are for us, tiny souls. But God is beyond laws. He should be able to grace us even when we are not surrendered. He is supremely independent. God says, no, I cannot do that. Laws are everywhere. Just like there are the laws of nature by which these planets work, a slight disturbance in them would result in all the celestial bodies colliding. There are the laws we were discussing in the Sustainability Summit, that the Earth's temperature from pre-industrial times has gone up by 1.1 degrees centigrade. It seems such a tiny amount, but it's resulted in loss of biodiversity, the reduction in the forests. It has affected the climate in so many ways. And the scientists are worried if it goes up by 4.5 degrees from pre-industrial times, then the world could come to an end. That is the minuteness of the laws of nature. So God says laws are everywhere. There's the law of karma, karma pradhana vishva kari rakha, jo jas karai so tas phalu chakha. Whatever you do, you'll have to bear the consequences. Take a look at Dashrath. He was the father of Bhagavan. And yet, in separation from Ram, he passed away. Kaushalya became a widow. Ram did not save. Kaushalya could have claimed, God is my child, and I am becoming a widow, save my husband. Ram says it doesn't work like that. These laws are decided in the court of God. It's not that the judge has become a child, so there'll be any leniency. This matter will be decided as per Dashrath's karmas. That is why we respect God. In the world there may be ghapad shapad, but in the realm of God we can expect perfection. So God says, look, if I grace you without your surrendering, people will lose their faith in me. Why, Maharaj? There was a farmer who had 2 young sons. And when it was the paddy sowing season, he instructed them, this is an important day. Go and work hard in the field. The younger son, he toiled it from morning till night, sweated it out and came back exhausted. The father said, well done, my son. Here's your reward, $1,000 for the day. The younger son, the elder son, did nothing. He lay on his bed, smoking, drinking, abusing his father. Now at night, if the father says, never mind, you are also my son. It's okay, you may be bad. I will not be bad. Here is the reward. Take $1,000, go and do what you like. You will say the father is being compassionate, but the fact is, the father will break the trust of the other son. The younger son will say, what kind of justice is this? I worked from morning till night and I got $1,000. My elder brother did nothing. He also got $1,000. If this is the nyay of my father, then from tomorrow I will also do nothing. I'll get the $1,000 in any case. As happens in the public sector enterprises in India, you know, there's BHEL, HAL, BEL, etc. People don't do any work. All of them run in a loss. Why? Because whether you work, whether you don't work, there's time-bound promotion. And the same Indians come to the United States and they work so hard. I've heard people say these Indians and Chinese have spoiled the culture. Meaning they're working so hard, they're forcing us to work hard. I say, why don't they work hard in India? But one gentleman in Houston, he retired from the private sector and joined the government. And he said, Swamiji, यहाँ के गवर्नमेंट में भी वही हाल है जैसा इंडिया में. So unless actions have consequences, there will be no changes. God says, look, if without your surrender, I bestow my grace, all the saints in history, they will say, oh Lord, what is this? We strived for so many lifetimes, janmantara sahasreshu tapo dhyana samadhi, naranam kshina papanam krishne bhakti prajayate. And as a consequence, we received the grace and reached the ultimate destination. And you gave grace to this soul in free fund. What was the purpose of our surrender? So God says, look, I go by my laws. You want my grace? Yes, Sri Krishna. Surrender? No, Sri Krishna, we don't wish to surrender. Don't surrender, you won't get grace. No, we want the grace, but we won't surrender. Shri Krishna says, ye dal nahi galegi yahan pe. You decide whether you wish to surrender in this life or 1,000 lives down the line. But my laws will not change. And that is why now we say, God, it's your fault you did not grace me. God says the onus is in your hands. My grace is in your hands because it's as per laws. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tans tathaiva bhajamyaham. How much grace do you want? I want this much. Surrender this much. No, I want this much. Surrender this much. No, I want this much. God says, then surrender this much. No, Bhagavan, I will surrender this much and I want this much grace. God says, look, understand the laws and realize that the ball is in your court. Now, the onus is on us to understand what it means to surrender. So, of course, surrender has been described variously, but there is one verse that repeatedly comes for surrender. Anukulyasya sankalpaha pratikulyasya varjanam rakshishyatiti vishvaso goptritve varanam tatha atmanikshepakarpanye shadvidha sharanagatihi. The verse says there are 6 aspects to surrender. So, of course, it's a state of consciousness, a state of being, but just to explain the knowledge, it is simplified and put like this. So, the first point is anukulyasya sankalpaha, to desire as per the desire of God. Whatever God wants, that's what I want. If we could do just this much, all the tension would cease to be. Why is the tension happening? It's a constant struggle. I want this, but God wants something else. And now the conflict is arising. Why is my child not doing like that? Why is my daughter not doing like that? Why is my neighbor like this? Why isn't my neighbor like that? So Bhagavan says, look, this world is not in your hands. The only thing in your hands is your efforts. So karmanyeva adhikaraste. I am not saying you sit idle, I am saying you put in your best efforts. But leave the results in my hands. It's like Mirabai said, if Sri Krishna wants me to laugh, I'll laugh. If he wants me to cry, I'll cry. If Sri Krishna wishes to ignore me, who are you? I've never seen you before. Never mind. If Sri Krishna wants to shower his love, so be it. Or kill me with a Sudarshan, never mind. Mere to giridhar gopal dusara na koi, jaake sir mor mukut mero pati soi. So this idea of uniting our will with the will of God. And the second is pratikulyasya varjanam. Not to desire against the desire of God. So when God gives us comfort, well-being and prosperity, nobody complains. But if sometimes He gives us hardships, and we say, why did God do this to me? Now the surrender is broken. The moment we say, why did God do this? We are going against the principle of surrender. I am inspired by that frog from the Ramayana. When Bhagavan Ram went to the Pampasar Sarovar close to Shabari's place, he first went to the lake to quench his thirst. He placed his sarang bow on the ground, or so he thought, and stooped to drink. He didn't realize that his bow was placed on a frog. And when Ram had his fill of water and looked at the frog, it had been badly wounded. Ram said, my dear Mendhak, you didn't make a sound. I wounded you so terribly. I've given you such a big throat, you could have done tar, tar. The frog said, Maharaj, every time I was in a problem in the past, I called out to you. Today you have put me in the problem. Now whom should I call out to? But the frog said, my lord, I was not complaining. There must be some reason for it. I was just praying to you to give me the strength to accept your will. So not to desire against the desire of God is the second point. And the third point is to have faith that He is protecting me. He is, you see, the worldly father also protects the child. Now sometimes you find the father lifts the child, and the child is hee, and the father throws the child in the air and then catches the child. Hee. The child knows my father is protecting me perfectly, there's nothing to worry. One young girl was traveling in the flight and a businessman was sitting by her side. And the girl was reading something when suddenly there was turbulence. Now this day the turbulence was so severe that everyone panicked. But the girl was just calm and peaceful. And the businessman was impressed. He said, my dear daughter, I am so impressed to see you are unmoved. How come you are not fearful like the rest? The girl said, the pilot is my father. He is taking me home. Why should I worry? So she's got the faith in her father. Likewise, our eternal Father is also taking care of us. So that faith will drive away fear. The only difference here is that He doesn't show Himself. He doesn't make it easy for us. It is His nature to hide. Like in the Cherokees, there's a Native American tribe called the Cherokees. And they have this passage of rites from youth to manhood. When somebody goes from youth to manhood, they have to go through this ceremony. So on one particular night, the night of the rite, the father takes the child, the youth. First the youth is blindfolded and told, you're not going to tell anyone what happens. And in the night, the child is taken into the forest and made to sit on a boulder. Now the child has got the blindfold, and the father says, you will sit here through the night. You are not going to move. In the morning, when the rays of light come, it will be obvious to you. At that time, you can remove your blindfold and come. So the child sits there, blindfolded. Now imagine in a forest in the midst of the night, you have all these carnivorous animals. Any hyena, coyote, anything could come. The child is just sitting. And in the morning, when the sun rays come, the child opens the bandage and sees my father was sitting next to me. The father was there, but he had not announced himself. He was taking care of the child. Likewise, our eternal Father is actually taking care of us, but He doesn't reveal, He doesn't make it obvious. You don't need to worry, I'm there. Like in the Mahabharata, Arjuna was fighting with all his skills. But at the end of the battle, Sri Krishna said, Arjuna, today when you get off the chariot, go and stand at a distance and I will get off after you. Arjuna said, what's the problem? Just do as I say. So Arjuna got off. This was the 18th and final day. And the moment Sri Krishna stepped off, the whole chariot exploded. Arjun said, Maharaj, what happened? Sri Krishna said, Arjun, those divine weapons of Bhishma and Dronacharya and Karan, there was no way this chariot could have held itself together. I was keeping it in one piece. The moment I stepped off, it's natural that it disintegrated. So likewise, God is holding all of us together. To have this faith is the third point of surrender. And the fourth point is to be grateful for His blessings. The problem is we want the blessings exactly in the way they suit us. Our opinion is a blessing means that I should have a body like Adonis and a bank balance like Elon Musk and one of those Lamborghinis to drive in, etc. And God says, this may not be my idea of a blessing. Because my goal is that you evolve from your present state of consciousness to a higher, to the highest, to the ultimate. That's why I've brought you in this world. It's possible some adversities may be helpful. So, to keep the attitude of gratitude and always cultivate that sense of thank you, God. One person, he wrote down, I retired this year when I turned 60. What a terrible thing life has become now. And a few months ago I had a gallbladder operation, it increased my miseries. And my son had an accident and was in the hospital for a month. And that also increased my problems. Oh God, what have you done to me? Now when he left, his wife was cleaning up and she saw what my husband had at the desk. And she added out there, I retired this year at the age of 60. Thank you, God, I don't need to work any further. I can do exactly what I want. And the gallbladder was troubling me for the last 15 years. It has been removed. Thank you, God, there is no pain. And my son had an accident, but he is still alive. My Lord, you are so kind and so merciful. So when the husband came back, he realized that the wife did have a point. It's the same situation, but depending on how you look at it. Your cup of life is half empty and it's also half full. If you look at the half empty portion, you say, I don't have this, I don't have that. And if you look at the half full portion, you say, so many blessings I have. That's the fourth point in surrender. And the fifth point is to think that all I have is His. I came empty-handed, I'll leave empty-handed. Where does this concept of mine come in from? Ramakrishna Paramahans, he said God smiles on two occasions. On the first occasion, He smiles when the son is unwell, the mother is crying, and the doctor comes, and doctor says, don't worry, I'll save your son. So God smiles, Mr. Doctor. Is life and death decided by you or decided by me? You can only treat, I am the one who cures. And the second time God smiles is when two brothers divide their father's property and construct boundaries, and one says, this is mine, and the other says, this is mine. God says, smiles, the whole world is mine. How do you decide that this is yours and that is yours? So the fifth point of surrender is to feel from within, all I have, my body, my mind, my soul, is all His, my eternal Father's. And the sixth point of surrender is to surrender, but not keep the pride of having surrendered. This is an interesting one. to do good, but also surrender the pride of having done good. To say, oh Lord, it was all your grace. You gave me the intellect, that is why I could do it. Otherwise, me, a soul of this Kali-Yuga, where would this thought come in from? So, to maintain humbleness, God says, look, this is the basis on which I will grace you. And then when you receive the grace, by my grace you will come to know me truly. And then you will say, oh, my eternal Father was always with me. And He was so eager. He was waiting for me to come till this point. God is waiting for us with open arms. If only we are willing to believe, if only we are willing to surrender. Once again, on Father's Day, let us express our heartfelt appreciation. Can all the fathers in the audience lift their hands? So let's give them all a big hand. And we express our heartfelt gratitude to Jagat Guru Sri Kripaluji Maharaj, our spiritual father, and to Sri Krishna Chandra. Boliye Srimad Sadguru Sarkar ki, Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. What a treat on Father's Day. Swamiji, thank you so much for lovely lecture. I just wish I can listen to hear some more and not get up from my seat, Swamiji. Thank you so much. Let's give a big, big, big round of applause. That is not big enough treat for Father's Day. Come on. Stand up and give a big round of applause. Thank you so much. So, once again, a warm welcome to each and every one of you to Radha Krishna Temple Sunday weekly satsang. Every Sunday from 10:30 to 12:30 we meet, we do kirtan, we listen to Swamiji's lecture, we do meditation, we have aarti, and then we have Mahaprasad every Sunday. It's the best time of the week that many of you have experienced. People who are new to the temple invite you to come and take benefit of that. I would like to invite our guest of honor, Chief Justice, Chief Supreme Court Judge, Arvind Kumar ji, please come to receive blessings from Swamiji. Swamiji, she's 1 minute. Thank you. So, couple of announcements about our upcoming events. As many of you know, July 4th to 10th is our annual event, JKYog Spiritual Retreat and Family Camp. Takes place here. People, devotees from all around the world, they gather once a year under Swamiji's guidance. Throughout the week, we have such a great spiritual experience. We start early morning, go on entire day. Variety of activities take place. We have lecture, meditation, question, answers. There are celebrations every single day. There is no day where you feel like it's boring or you get tired. Every day comes with so much more energy and inspiration. So request you to check out our family camp, July 4th to 10th. All 7 days, all meals are provided, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and we have 3 parallel programs, one for children, one for youth, and one for adults. So your children, they will not bother, you don't have to cook at home also, and they will have a great time. Most importantly, you will give them such a big foundation based on Vedic wisdom under Swamiji's guidance. So request you to take benefit of that. We have early bird discount also still. We have extended it. You can register for all 7 days only for $150. At front desk, you can gather more information about it. And that is July 4th to 10th. July 3rd is Guru Purnima. And this year, Guru Purnima, we are going to have with Swamiji right here in the temple. So, people who are watching us out of town or online, you can come one day in advance and take advantage of Guru Purnima celebration, which is on July 3rd. We also have our LTP Life Transformation Program that takes place every year, right here, once a year, week-long program. This year, the topic is Golden Rules for Living Your Best Life, and Swamiji's program is from July 29th to August 4th for 7 days. We will also have morning walk with Swamiji, satsang, breakfast, and walk, and in the evening, we will have lectures. So do take a flyer, and also if you can take few extra flyers with you today and let your neighbors, friends, colleagues know about our life transformation program, July 29th to August 4th. For Mahaprasad sponsors, I would like to thank Pediatric Associates of Frisco, Naren and Dr. Sri. Anupam, Nilab, are they here? If you are here, please come forward to receive the blessings of Radha Krishna and Prasad from Panditji. Anything special, any special occasion, Anupam ji?
My kid's birthday was a couple of weeks back.
Oh, nice. Many happy returns of the day. Thank you for celebrating that with all of us. Please come forward. And then we have Neha and Fennel Pataria. Fennel bhai, please come forward. Anything special happening today? Keyur's birthday. Keyur, please receive the blessings from Swamiji, and he's our Satsang devotee. May the blessings of God and Guru be with all our Yajmans. We also have some more sponsors for Mukut and jewelry for Divine Father from Devabrati Majmudar, Hardik Pandya. Garland for Divine Father is from Kalyani Mohan, Rekha and Hardik Pandya. And we have chocolates for Divine Father and Shri Krishna is Devabrati Majmudar, Deyasani Das Gupta, and we have gift for our Father's Day from Hardik Pandya. So would like to thank all. Let's give a big round of applause to all our sponsors and Yajman as we are celebrating Father's Day. So we are, before we do Aarti, we are going to have some celebration. Dole ready? Kaustubh? Swamiji is going to have candies and celebration, so let's do that. Swamiji, lute. So you all can be seated your place, and Swamiji is going to shower little toys and sweets with Panditji.
ये बढ़िया है।
request all our sponsors, Yajman, everyone to please come forward for Aarti.
Yes. Our energy, yes.
सब बच्चों को सबको मिल गई आप खाओ जैसिका ये अभी खोलनी नहीं है आई विल मेक यू गो टेक वन मोर कलेक्ट एंड जस्टिन हैज माय बैग यू कैन पुट इट देयर ये ले इधर बैठ जा गो सिट कम सिट विद मी सिट हियर जन्मजन्मान्तरमनुजन्मदारुणं श्रीराम 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 श्रीराम। आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की के बनवारी नथवारी की। आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की के बनवारी नथवारी की। दुहुन सिर कनक मुकुट झलके दुहुन श्रुति कुंडल भल हलके। दुहुन दृग प्रेम सुधा छलके। चसीले बैन रसीले नैन गसीले सैन। दुहुन मैनन मनहारी की के बनवारी नथवारी की। आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की के बनवारी नथवारी की। दुहुनी दृग चितवनी परवारी। दुहुनी लट लट कनी छवि न्यारी। दुहुनी भौमट कनी अति प्यारी। रसन मुख पान हसन मुस्कान। दसन दम कान दुहुनी बेसर छवि न्यारी की के बनवारी नथवारी की। आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की के बनवारी नथवारी की। एक उर पीतांबर फहरे। एक उर नीलांबर लहरे। दुहुन उर लर मोतिन छहरे। कांकनन खनक किंकिनिन झनक नूपुरन भनक। दुहुन रुन झुन धुनि प्यारी की के बनवारी नथवारी की। आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की के बनवारी नथवारी की। एक सिर मोर मुकुट राजे। एक सिर चूनरी छवि छाजे। दुहुन सिर तिरछे बल भ्राजे। सांग ब्रज बाल लाडली लाल बाह गल डाल। कृपालु दुहुन दृग चारी की के बनवारी नथवारी की। आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की के बनवारी नथवारी की। आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की के बनवारी नथवारी की। जयति जगद गुरु गुरुवर की। गाओ मिली आरती रसिक वर की। गाओ गाओ मिली आरती रसिक वर की। गुरु पद नख मणि चंद्रिका प्रकाश। जाके उर बसे ताके मोह तम नाश, जाके मात नाथ तब हाथ करे वास, ताते होय माया मोह सब ही निराश, पावे गति मति रति राधा वर की, गाओ मेली आरती रसिक वर की, गाओ गाओ मेली आरती रसिक वर की। हरे मन मूड छाड़ नारी नर हाथ, गुरु बिनु ब्रह्म श्याम हो न देंगे साथ, कोमल कृपालु बड़े कृपा सिंधु नाथ, पाके इन्हें आज तू अनाथ हो सनाथ, इन्हीं के अधीन कृपा गिरिधर की, गाओ मेली आरती रसिक वर की, गाओ गाओ मेली आरती रसिक वर की। भक्ति योग रस अवतार अभिराम, करे निगमागम समन्वय ललाम, श्यामा श्याम नाम रूप लीला गुण धाम, बाट रहे प्रेम निष्काम बिनु दाम, हो रही सफल काया नारी नर की, गाओ मेली आरती रसिक वर की, गाओ गाओ मेली आरती रसिक वर की। लली लाल लीला का सलोना सुविलास, छाया दिव्य दृष्टि विच प्रेम का प्रकाश, वैसा ही विनोद वही मंजू मृदुहास, करे बस बर बस उच्च अट्टहास, जय हो झूमी चले चाल वही नटवर की, गाओ मेली आरती रसिक वर की, गाओ गाओ मेली आरती रसिक वर की। जयति जगद गुरु गुरुवर की, गाओ मेली आरती रसिक वर की, गाओ गाओ मेली आरती रसिक वर की।
श्री राधा कृष्ण भगवान की
जय,
सियावर रामचंद्र की
जय,
भक्ति योग रसावतार जगत गुरु श्री कृपालु जी महाराज की
जय,
उमापति महादेव की
जय,
पवन सुत हनुमान की
जय,
गजानन गणपति भगवान की
जय,
श्री दुर्गा माता की
जय,
राधा कृष्ण मंदिर की
जय,
जय जय श्री श्री राधे,
जय
some announcements.
Radhe Radhe everyone. So one important announcement. We had 3 days of celebration for Dallas Yoga Fest, which was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and today is the third day. We are having 2 contests as part of Sustainability Summit 2023. This is the first time in Yoga Fest we have incorporated